Hi, this is Kristen from Pratt Scraps, and I'm just showing you the Bella Boulevard Barnyard collection that I'm going to be using. This is so, if I have a style, I don't really like to say that I have a style, but if I had to say I had a style, this would maybe not be my style. I think it's adorable, I think it's cute, but it's just not what I use typically. I'll admit it's what I buy often, but it's not necessarily what I use. So, it could be the old kindergarten teacher in me. I don't know, but I just think it's so cute. So I decided I'm going to use it. We went to a petting zoo. A friend of mine has a little hobby farm south of the town that we live in, and she got a kind of contracted through this apple orchard that isn't very far away for her to bring her animals for the weekend and have open up a little bit of a petting zoo. So people could come, and I think it was $3 to go through the petting zoo, and you could actually go in the pens with the animals, which I've been to a few petting zoos, and that's not always the norm, so that was kind of cool. I have to say, I have these two pictures of me and the sheep. That was like my biggest thing is I'm like, I have to get a selfie with the sheep. This goes back a long time. I let's see, I graduated college in 97. So when I was in college, for whatever reason, I don't even know why I think my brother gave it to me as maybe a gag gift, but I had a lamb chop light up. I don't even know if it was a night light or a lamp. It was this thing that could sit on your desk and it turned on. And it was lamb chop, like Sherry Lewis lamb chop. Anyway, for whatever reason, I brought it to college. I don't know why. I don't know why. Brought it with me to college, and therefore I was nicknamed Lamb Chop. And oftentimes, people would not call me Chris or Kristen, or they would call me Lamb Chop or Lamb for short. So, um, it kind of just stuck. And then when I was in my senior year of college, I was going to school to be a teacher, and I did my student teaching or part of my student teaching requirement in Wales. And I was just amazed at the fact that as flying in to the Manchester airport in England, there's all these little white spots on this field, and it's sheep and lambs all over. And it was just very cool. I'm used to the Midwest and cows and the occasional llama or alpaca farm and, turkeys and things running wild, but not sheep. I've seen sheep before, like on farms and things, but not just large numbers of them, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I think when little lambs run, I think it is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. So that bottom picture on the right, that is me trying to get a selfie with, it's actually a sheep, not a lamb, which I had to learn. I didn't realize that a lamb was different, or that a sheep and a lamb were the same thing until I was probably way too old. I grew up in the city and we didn't have lambs and sheep, and I now live in rural Minnesota and I've learned some things. Anyway, enough about that. But anyway, I was very excited to get that picture of me and the sheep, even though it's not even that cute. And I thought it was a great way to use this paper that I bought. And I end up using very little of the cute sides of the paper. It's all pretty much the back sides of the paper. But c'est la vie. It's still cute, and I don't know. I still may use it for something else. My kids are getting older, so we don't really do as many cute little, petting farm zoo things, but I have a lot of pictures from when they were little, so I could pull those out and do it. So here's my layout that I've been working on. Doing a grid type layout. I found a cut apart that said, what does it say? Barnyard Friends. And I use that as my center picture, kind of. And then I cut all the pictures, the two in the middle with the barnyard friend, that row, it's my daughter and a llama, and my other daughter and a horse, which you can't see because there's a light shining on her. There she is. It's a miniature horse. Obviously, she's not a giant. Um, so I used that barnyard friend as the center, and I left those pictures just a tiny bit taller than the rest of the pictures. You can kind of see there where I'm trimming them just to make the layout. They didn't fit all at the same, I forget if they were 2x3 or they couldn't have been that big. I don't know. It just made it fit on the 12x12 paper better if I trimmed them just a tiny bit, and then because I knew I wanted to put different colors behind the pictures. Three of the pictures, the kids were wearing red or some part of red, so I wanted red behind some pictures, and then I used yellow and green on the rest. And then I have two yellows together, and that just can't happen in my world, so I had to rip that off, and she'll get backed in a shade of green, I believe. And after the fact, now I realize that my friend's daughter, oldest daughter, wasn't with an animal by herself in any of the pictures. So she's just being goofy in one with my middle daughter, and then being cute with my oldest daughter in the last picture. There I am, the sheep. I don't even know that sheep's name. I wish I did. I don't. I'll have to ask her. I may have to do another page of just me and the sheep selfies because, of course, there's probably literally 20 pictures on my camera roll of me and the sheep. Because, yes. And my phone is going to die here pretty soon. I didn't realize that, and I just kept on scrapping. So I'm not exactly sure where it cuts off at what point, but I do still shots at the end so you can see exactly what I did to finish off the paper. I had this great idea to try to use some of these different patterns to make these little strips behind the center row of pictures. And it was tricky because there's pigs. Well, there weren't any pigs at the petting zoo. This one says barnyard. It really wasn't in a barnyard. It was in an apple orchard. There was a tractor, but I don't have any pictures of that. And then there weren't any chickens because gross, who would want to pet a chicken? Not me. So I ended up choosing these to begin with. There was a cow. I don't have a picture of the cow, but there was a cow there. Well, it wasn't a cow. It was a baby cow, so a calf. So I'm working with these strips. I thought they looked good. I love that oink quack moo cock-a-doodle doo, but it doesn't make it on the layout. Neither does that little barnyard one either. So that's kind of where, I don't know, thinking, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I don't stick with it. I change it. It was kind of by accident, but a happy accident, I'd say. I went to, what do you call this? Notch the end of the strips. That's not what you call it. To make it look like a, what am I trying to say? I don't know. A banner. Trying to make it look like a banner. And I flipped the cow one over. That's what I end up using. The cow, or the yellow side instead of the cow side. Sometimes I feel like I get a little bit too matchy-matchy because these are the papers I use to back the pictures, but it's probably why it looks the best to me when it's all said and done, because those are the same papers that were repeated throughout the layout. So, clean that one up a little bit. I didn't want them to be the same length, any of them, so I have to go back and trim a little bit off some. Then I can lay it down and check it out, and I don't like it, so I have to change it. I have to sit here and think about it for a while. Oh, it's almost done here. I ended up taking those two white strips out, and then I put a little bag behind the Barnyard Friends and the tag Project Life journaling card that slides in and out for the journaling. So it's kind of a hidden journaling. And I attach a tab to it so that you can easily slide it out and read the journaling on it. Here's where I was starting this process. I have all these cute polka dot bags that I got at one of my trips to, I think Hobby Lobby. They have these little bags. One of my first trips. I don't get there often. It's like an hour away, and if I do go there, it's sometimes on Sunday that I get to that town, and they're not open, so I don't go there very often. I do go to this fabulous place called Crafts Direct, which is in Waite Park, Minnesota. It's very nice. If you're ever in Minnesota, and you're a scrapbooker, it's worth the trip. So I like to see things in person before I buy them. So here I'm thinking, and it's about to get cut off. So enjoy the still pictures, and thanks for watching. I hope you have subscribed to my channel. I'm shooting for 100 subscribers by Christmas. I don't know if that'll happen. Thanks for watching.